feel like you should be in a class or something. Okay, here we go. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of these awards. The Cloud Now Awards each year recognizes 10 outstanding women in cloud and converging technology. These awards honor female-led initiatives and teams who have used technology to solve real-world business problems, contribute to society or the community in a significant way, or innovate and move the industry forward. So each of the winners has been invited to present the project that garnered her the spot on our list in a friendly pitch-style competition meets TED Talks. I hope it's that one. Have you ever seen that woman that talks about, never mind, I'm just going to talk about sex, but we probably shouldn't do that in class. And then afterwards, we're going to give them each their award, but we will also then have a People's Choice Award, so you're all going to vote. Oh. And our esteemed judges are going to vote as well. And while I have this moment, I'm just going to quickly introduce our judges, if I can find my bios that I wrote. Okay. Bernard Golden has been an advisor to Cloud Now, and he's really been an amazing proponent of not only this organization, cloud computing overall, but women in technology. I have really appreciated and admired the way he has supported many initiatives around women in technology and cloud computing. I would say he's also a man of cloud, if we had such a thing, which is basically everybody else in the industry. But he is, even with that, he stands out. He was named by Wired.com as one of the 10 most influential people in cloud computing. He is currently Vice President of Strategy for Active State Software. And you might remember we were just talking about HP acquired Active State Staccato platform, their PaaS, their platform as a service. But turns out they have many other products that he is doing strategy around, including Active Perl, Active Python, Active TCL, Komodo IDE, and other things that you put active in front of, I'm guessing. Does it have to have active in front of it? You're not the marketing branding, okay. Prior to Active State, Bernard served as Senior Director, Enterprise Solutions at Dell. We have a lot of Dell refugees here. He was also previously CEO of HyperStratus, which is a Silicon Valley cloud consulting firm. I think he was doing cloud consulting before we even knew what it was called. And he is also the cloud computing advisor and a frequent cloud blogger for CIO magazine. So if you want to enjoy and be entertained by cloud computing blogs, read his blog. It is often entertaining. Our other esteemed judge is Miss Susan Wu, who was a not Wu. Okay. Oh, God. Okay, first snort of the night. It's going to be good. I just had some wine finally. Anyway, she was a 2013 Top Women of the Cloud. She is currently the Director of Technical Marketing for Midakura, who is an OpenStack partner with Red Hat. She's been in cloud also since before I think we called it cloud. She has been in product management, product marketing. She was a founder of at least one startup. She has been a cloud evangelist. I have often been on stage, actually with both of them. They're both amazing speakers. She was product management for a PaaS, a very early PaaS, for a company called .cloud, which she then left because, PaaS was an ugly name back then. In fact, no one even knew what it was. And that little company is today, do you know what they are? Do you know who it is? Docker. So she fucked that up. But hopefully she's a better judge. Okay, my first F word too. So we got that out of the way. First snort, first F-bomb. We're moving forward. Everybody got some wine? It's after 6 o'clock.
You need another drink.
Okay. Seriously, I need more than one. All right. She's also worked for some small companies like Sun, Oracle, Citrix. And importantly, she has worked on both OpenStack and CloudStack. And hopefully she picked the winner of that one, which clearly is OpenStack, so we don't really need to go up with that anymore. Okay, so let's start these pitches, which my notes are so messed up here. Okay, so first up is, I've got to get her title here, because they've moved order here because they're going to catch airplanes and do very important things. Liz has to go take care of her dog before she runs off to see the Pope. That was actually true. That wasn't a joke. She's going to see the Pope in Philadelphia. It's pretty cool. So pray for us all, especially me. Okay. So Liz Santoni is the VP and General Manager of of service provider access. I want to say secure access for some reason. Is it secure service provider access? Okay, good. I like that better. At Cisco. And we're going to give her her award, and then she's going to do her pitch. So we're going to... Where's our photographer? Okay, we'll give you your award when our photographer comes back.
Absolutely.
We'll do that.
No problem.
All right, go girl.
Good evening. So I actually am really proud to be here today because I actually feel like I belong here. You know, as we talked about women engineers, very many times when people ask me, what do you do? And I say I'm an engineer, and I get one of this. And that looks really cute when your puppy does that, but it's not really cute when somebody does that to you. So, and then I pull out my resume and I started reading to them in terms of saying, here's everything I've done to prove that I'm an engineer. I've got an undergraduate degree in chemistry with a minor in physics and math. It's true. I can actually tell the difference and tell you what low-density polyethylene is versus linear low-density polyethylene. It's just plastic. So I'm actually very proud to be here amongst this esteemed group of technologists. And I get the opportunity to share a little bit about my project. So I started off with about 30 slides. Is that okay? Because I quite didn't understand the 5-minute timing thing. Because usually, you know, where I work, it's death by PowerPoint. But today I decided to do no PowerPoint at all. So my project was about changing the customer experience using an innovative cloud-based solution focused on what mattered the most to our customers: simplicity, automation, and agility. So let me take you back a little bit because this happened in late 2013 to early 2014. As the general manager of the business unit, I was always looking for the next big market to enter. And the Carrier Ethernet NID market is about $1 billion market. So for those of you, like my family, doesn't know what a NID is, it's a network demarcation device. So what it does is it separates, like a service provider, like a Verizon, AT&T equipment, from their business customers' equipment. Clear? Well, okay, let me put it this way. So growing up, I shared a room with my sister. I wish I had a NID that very clearly separated out her part of the room from kind of my part of the room. So getting back to my project, I had spent kind of the prior 30, 60, 90 days, because I was new in that role, talking to customers. And here's what I heard them say repeatedly. Help me lower my costs, which are rising too fast, too soon. Help me simplify my operations so that I can scale. And help me roll out new services so that I can bring in money. So why was this a problem where NIDs were concerned? Because these NIDs are not just deployed in like 2s and 10s or even hundreds. These NIDs are deployed in thousands in the network. The process is manual, it's costly, it's error-prone, and it takes a long time, many months actually, from when the NID is actually delivered to the customer's doorstep. And then there was the need to solve for the end customer, you and me, our experience. Because as many of you know, bandwidth continues to go up. It's all the video, mobile, cloud-based services. It's all those cute puppy videos that we like to watch. So I see a few people looking down. We all know who we are. So access continues to remain a bottleneck for the customer experience. So what we did was the usual thing. We got a huge list of requirements for our customers, and we translated that into features and functionality. And we jam as much as we can into a product. Sound familiar? Because more is better, right? Not always. I challenge my team to focus on what we have been repeatedly just hearing from the customers. Simplify my life, automate it so I can lower my operational expenses, and then help me deliver these services faster, because my competitors are doing it in hours and days, and it's taking me months. So we knew that the ideal solution for it was a cloud-based solution. But at the time that we were thinking of implementing this was new. It was, you know, the concept was relatively new, especially in the network part of the world, and especially at the access layer is where you connect to the internet. So we knew that there were many unknowns, and it was both intimidating and it was exciting at the same time. But I knew that we needed this cloud-based solution to orchestrate these NIDs. You configure them, monitor them, and link these devices to other devices in the network. But first, before we did that, we had to understand the customer's job. So we went back and talked to our customers, and here's what we found. It takes about 17 steps from start to finish. You install it, configure, test, verify, and then roll out the services. So we developed a VM-based controller that's enabled on our own UCS blades to, again, enable this cloud management solution of thousands of NIDs. So it needed to scale to thousands of NIDs. And the programmability is done externally via netconfig APIs as well. And the solution had 3 parts to it: auto discovery, secure auto discovery. So as soon as the NID is powered on, it's discovered. Auto configuration, the NID gets initialized and configured. And remote monitoring. So you can test, verify, and with confidence you can deploy these SLAs as well. So with this solution, what we had done then was provide the customer with a solution that, again, significantly reduced the number of manual touch points and opportunities to have errors introduced into the system as well. So, and again, in summary, when I look at this cloud-based solution enabled us to deliver what mattered most to my customers: simplicity, automation, and agility. I mean, look, at least when I think of innovation, innovation is delivering what matters most to the customer, and technology enables that. And at the end of the day, most customers know what they need. All we have to do is listen. Thank you.
We're going to try to do one picture one more time.
Oh, yes, I would like a picture.
Okay, let's make sure we've got it.
Yes. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. And here's your box, too. Lovely. Very nice, and she stayed within time. We do have a timekeeper up here, just so you all know, and so if they start to run over, they will get a warning. Okay, so next up is Adi Israel, who is currently a Technology Business Management Consultant, TBM, for Kaiser Permanente. Adi, congratulations.
Thanks, Mike.
Perfect.
Thank you. So hi, everyone. I'm very excited and honored to be here. My name is Adi. I'm a TBM consultant at Kaiser, and I'm here to tell you a little bit of a personal story and how it ties to what I do at my work that I love. So last year, I took a vacation with my husband and 2 daughters and went to Disneyland. We were very lucky to get 3-day complimentary passes from our friends, and we were super excited to get our day started without having to rush through all the attractions in one day. On our first evening there, as we were completing perhaps our 6th ride at Ariel, The Little Mermaid, we're trying to convince my little one that it was time to head back to the hotel. My husband and I grabbed her hands, and we were swinging her all the way to the exit. It looked something like this. By the time we walked back to the hotel room, she wasn't behaving like her normal self. She was refusing to do ordinary things like changing her clothes. She seemed to be grabbing a real close of her hand. She wasn't able to express it as she was young, but she was in pain, and we were anxious to find after our medical care. At the time, I was still a new employee to Kaiser, so this would have been my first visit to a Kaiser hospital. I wasn't sure where I needed to go, and I wasn't certain that I had all the information with me. When we entered the emergency room, we were greeted by a staff member who helped us locate our medical record numbers. They got us into the exam room, and from there we went a couple of doors down the hall to get our x-rays taken. By the time we walked back from the x-ray room, the ER physician had already reviewed her case. They received an instant electronic copy of her record and were able to diagnose the problem. Our primary care physician in North California was informed about the case, and we were able to access the treatment detail through a mobile app. This effective treatment wouldn't have been available if it wasn't for the technology infrastructure that was in place. But it really made me think about our scale and about how technology resources are being deployed to support that. We serve more than 10 million members in 600 medical facilities across different states and regions. Last year, we enabled 40 million doctor office visits and 20 million secure e-visits. These days, our members can have a video appointment with their doctor without even having to leave their homes. Technology helps provide our customer with this high quality care. And as an industry leader, we must continuously look for ways to deliver even faster, more reliable, and affordable solutions to our physicians and members. Our project was focused on just that, how to drive IT efficiencies by providing transparency on the way technology resources are being consumed. By applying common measures to our services, our infrastructure and cloud services, we're able to compare the ongoing costs of delivering those between our internal and external environments and help drive better business decisions. The savings we generate from looking at consumption fund additional innovation, making Kaiser one of the industry leaders in leveraging technology to deliver healthcare. The methodology we use can be replicated across other industries and can benefit organizations outside of Kaiser. I personally really hope that in the year to come, we will see more and more companies make strides in that direction. And as for my daughter, she was diagnosed with a nursemaid elbow. The doctor was able to put it back in place within seconds, and we were all able to go back to the park the next day. Thank you so much.
Excellent. You all are
Thank
so
you.
good at staying on time. Congratulations.
There you go.
Okay. All right. Next, to get punishment of speaking in front of us all, is Cornelia Davis, Director of Platform Engineering at Pivotal. And Cornelia was nominated by Intel. Please welcome.
Thank you.
40 minutes, I don't have it in front of me.
Sure.
Good luck.
Thank you. So, oh, I don't need the clicker. So the first thing I should tell you is that I'm going completely off script. So I have slides. Are you going to project just the title slide? So you can project the title slide. This is what I was going to talk about. I was going to give you a story, and I was going to do a lesson, a computer science 101, 401 lesson. And then I was going to talk about a platform. And then earlier today, kind of, over the course of the week, I decided, nah, I'm going to do something totally different. So I'll get to that punchline in just a moment, but the first thing I want to say is how very honored I am to be among the 9 other women who have won this award. I'm very humbled and very honored, and I thank CloudNow very much for that. So let me then tell you, this is really going to come, the whole thing's going to come in the form of a story. So let me tell you a little bit about my background. I work for Pivotal. Pivotal is a spin-off from EMC and VMware. And I was on the EMC side, and I was working in the corporate CTO office in the architecture group, kind of doing emerging technology. And so about 3 years ago, when I was still at EMC, I decided that my boss and I decided that I was going to start looking into this new PaaS thing. So I started learning about PaaS, and there was a platform as a service that was owned by our sister company, VMware, Cloud Foundry. So I started learning about Cloud Foundry. Fast forward, and now we've done the spinoff, and I work for Pivotal. And I joined the Cloud Foundry team about 2 years ago in a platform engineering role. So you can see that my title says Director of Cloud Foundry Platform Engineering. So I joined as a platform engineer. Platform engineers are a field-facing engineering organization. So I work with all of our largest customers and partners, understanding what their needs are. So when I first started learning about PaaS back in the EMC days, I believed everything that I read initially, which was PaaS is all for the developer. It's all about developer agility, developer ease, and I thought, cool. I've been a developer for my entire career, never done ops, so this is all about me. Cool, awesome. And so then I started going out and visiting with customers, and it took me about a month, less than a month, before I came home and I said to my husband, who's here today, holy crap, I am working on a data center product. I'm working on a product that is as much for the operations team as it is for the developer. And that was like a huge transformation journey for me. So I've spent the last 2 years initially as a member and then leading the platform engineering group, working with clients and working with customers and understanding that I went through that transformation myself. And what I learned as a part of that, not only is it just for the developer, but really what customers were interested in, and our customers are enterprise customers, was they were shaking in their boots about the Squares and the Ubers and all of these startups that were coming in and eating their lunch, really truly eating away at their market share. So I really started looking into what are those things that our startups are doing that are different from enterprises. And they're things like continuous delivery. So Amazon releases on average every second of every day. In order to do that, you have to change the way that you architect your applications, because you can't release a documentum content server every second of every day. You have to change the way that you do testing, QA. And you know what? It turns out that you have to change the way that you do HR. You have to change the way that you do recruiting. I work with a customer, very, very, very large retail customer. When I learned about what their developers were allowed to program in, I said, so what do they do? And they said, they program in Java. And I said, okay. And they're like, yeah, Java. I said, oh, okay, you mean Spring. And they said, oh, no, we don't let them do Spring. They're not getting the talented developers because they don't want to be constrained. They don't want to work with one thing behind their back, one arm behind their back. So it turns out you have to change the way that you're doing recruiting, change the way that you do compensation. You have to change the way that you do your planning cycles. You can't do a yearly planning cycle and be agile and change the way that you release your software. So part of the reason that I went off script was that I am no longer the Director of Platform Engineering as of this week. I am now the CTO of our transformation practice. So we have, thank you. We have formed a group called the Transformation Practice that is in the business of helping our customers and these organizations transform not just IT, but transform themselves as a company. And that's really enabled by cloud. That's the difference now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And let's awesome.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations. Nicely done.
you.
Very exciting. I love that title. CTO of the Transformation Practice. All right, who is next? Oh, wait, I need to get your award. Hold on, just settle down, girlfriend. All right, so